Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Songbird's Nest. My name is Margaret, and this is Songbirds Creations, Crochet, and more. So glad to see you this early Saturday morning. Hope you're all doing well. Good morning, baby. Good morning, Lana. So how is everyone this morning? I hope that all this illness seems to be going around hasn't hit you or your family. Surely is the season for it. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, Beth. Welcome in. So I'm just sitting here crocheting a little bit more on the Mobius wrap. I have so many whips going right now, but since this is one of them, it still does contribute toward my goal of getting as many of my whips done as possible over this winter. So I had started my blanket for the Stitcher hood and figured out rather quickly that the color of yarn I was using, I didn't have quite enough to do a queen size blanket. So yesterday I hunted around for ideas, found a new design to try out, and I am going, it's the way they show it in the picture, it's kind of like an ombre type yarn or a gradient maybe. I I am going to be doing it with several different colors of yarn that I have lots of. So hopefully this time around I will actually be able to get a blanket done. Yes, a Mobius wrap in your stitch pattern would be really cool, Amber. I'd love to see that. Good morning, Julianne. Nice to see you. How are you feeling this morning? It was kind of weird. I got over my day of the dizzies that I had earlier in the week. Then a couple of days later, my husband was complaining about the same thing, same symptoms. Very strange. I am doing fine. I did not get a lot of sleep last night, but I am here anyway. Really? That is so weird. It's got to be a virus, I would think, if multiple people are getting it all at the same time. Thankfully, it's very short-lived. I slept mine off, I guess, during that day and overnight. The day that I felt so bad, I basically went to bed and slept the whole afternoon, woke up in the evening, was awake pretty much long enough to catch Camille's live, and then I was right back to sleep and slept straight through until around 7:30 the next morning, at which time I woke up and felt absolutely fantastic. I mean, no, and in fact, I didn't sleep until 7:30. I slept until about 5, actually, because I heard my husband leave. Then I kind of turned over and dozed for a little while more. And then about 5 o'clock, I woke up and jumped out of bed and actually got a whole lot of stuff done. I mean, I got up and did dishes, made coffee, let the dog out, let the dog in, gave him his morning treats, did some laundry. I mean, I just hit the ground running and felt great. So who knows? Really, actually, Julie, and I did. It was amazing how good I felt. I guess I would take a day of dizziness once in a while to have that kind of energy the next day. Maybe that's what it was. I needed that down day to have an energy reset. I don't know, but it was kind of funny. Yeah, Lana, I'm so glad you're feeling better. I hope your stomach continues to improve. Mine's a little iffy this morning, but I woke up this morning and needed to get up and immediately go to the bathroom. And wouldn't you know, my hubby had it occupied. And we have some issues with the downstairs bathroom, where the toilet is continuously running, which I had told my husband months ago. He just within the last month and a half or so shut off the water to the toilet. Finally. It's like, dude, I told you this ages ago. And if he went and bought the parts, I could fix it because I know what's wrong with it. All we'd have to do is make a quick trip to Home Depot, grab the parts, fix it, and we'd have our 2 bathrooms back. And it sure would help because he tends to take a really long time in the bathroom. I don't. I get in and do my business and I'm done. But he does not. So we almost really have to have 2 bathrooms in this house. Good morning, Tank. Yes, get that coffee. Yes, so last night Camille had her live that ended up running a little bit late. And then a little bit after that, she went on to Discord and kind of did a live there. Used the meeting room feature, and so we got to voice chat, which was really a lot of fun. I didn't turn on my camera because at that point I wasn't crocheting anymore. I had my bedroom dark and I was just laying in bed looking at videos and stuff, so I just kept my bedroom dark and voice chatted with them. But it was fun. Lori and Renee Unraveled, and Camille and I and Helix all were there. It was a lot of fun. So I was on Instagram the other day, and Linda, you will. It's not that hard. You don't have to have your camera or your microphone going if you don't want to. That's what's nice about it. So if you just want to sit there and voice chat and not show your face, you can totally do that. Yeah, it's fairly simple. You'll get it. And good morning, Linda. What are you working on today? Did you find yarn for a different blanket? Just watched the morning videos so far. Cool. I haven't really watched that much this morning yet. I haven't been up a super long time. I was up long enough to get out and get coffee made and get in here and set up my live. So I haven't really watched too much this morning. But what I was saying, I was on Instagram yesterday. I have a lot of friends that post on Instagram a lot. And I actually chatted with my first dance teacher from Illinois. She went to school for interior design, and her specialty is kitchens and baths. But she has complained for quite a while now with the company that she works with. She's complained about the content on their social media and their website. Well, so in so doing, she earned herself another thing to do for the company, which is to be in charge of their social media. So she happened to be on Instagram yesterday and reacted to a video that I had sent her quite a while ago. And she said she hadn't been on Instagram in years and kind of wanted some input on how to use it. So I got to chat with her a little bit. Yeah, companies, yes. If you complain about something, they're going to tell you do it and do it better, right? Oh, are you getting the storms that are coming across, Tank? I was watching Storm Chasers quite a bit yesterday and last night, um, over in the Louisiana, Mississippi area. Um, I think today they were heading east. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me any that you're getting storms. What's the temperature been like down there, Tank? Ours has dropped back down again. I mean, it's still warmer than what it's been lately. It's well above freezing, but it's quite a bit chillier than what it was earlier this week. We actually had a day hit 60. Definitely all of our snow in the yard is gone. There's still piles, where people plowed, but other than that, all the snow is gone, which does not hurt my feelings any, other than makes my yard into a big mud pit. And then Icy goes out and gets all muddy. Oh well, just means he gets to have another bath, which he just absolutely loves. Not? Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I think there's a cold front coming across. Last night it was out in Texas, and that was kind of what was pushing those storms. Oh, excuse me. Well, I hope it just stays rain for you, Tank. You don't need anything worse than that. 80 by Wednesday? I wish I could say it was going to be 80 by Wednesday. I would love, of course, that would be bringing us some really bad weather if it did that. We did have thunderstorms earlier this week, out ahead of the warm front that was heading our way. Um, we got some really, really windy weather for a couple of days. In fact, it woke me up about 4 o'clock in the morning when it first hit, because it was so windy that it was blowing stuff against the house, and odd noises like that tend to wake me up. Oh, yay, hurry, go get you some, Julianne. I've got my big Lana cup as usual, so I'm well stocked. This morning I'm drinking, I got a new package from the coffee club that I'm in, and this month it's coffee from Mexico, and I'm thinking it's from around Veracruz, Mexico, but it's really nice. I when I first brewed a pot of it, I tasted it without any creamer or anything in it, and it's nice, mild enough coffee that I could probably drink it without anything in it and be just fine. I mean, if I didn't have creamer or anything, I could drink it black, and that's very unusual for me. I hardly ever will drink totally black coffee. Yeah, Juliana, I have not run across any coffees recently that I could say that I could drink them black. It does not happen. I love coffee, but I have never loved it black. And usually, most coffees are not mild enough for me without some creamer in them to kind of cushion it, that it won't react badly with my stomach. Um, a lot of coffees, if I try to drink them black, it'll give me heartburn really bad. So has anybody else been having really weird sleep patterns this week? My sleep patterns have been just all jacked up, except for the one day where I slept the whole day before and got up at 5. I I've been staying up till 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, Julianne, I definitely know when it's my stomach. Um, Considering the stomach problems I have, coffee really should not be on my list of things to partake of, but I love coffee. I'm not giving up my coffee. I'm sorry. I have reflux. I was really bummed when I started having problems with it because at the time I was still having a lot of asthma problems. And my mom started having trouble with reflux, which apparently in our family kind of runs in the family. So um, my great grandma actually more or less died because of it. And then my grandma had it. And then my mom got it. And she's like, well, looking at the track record, you'll probably end up with it. And I was like, no, I don't need that. I already have enough problems. Well, sure enough, I did end up with it. But I found something a while back that I had heard a commercial for something called Orange Burps. And it was supposed to be something that you can take that would combat acid reflux. So I looked it up online and it was very expensive. But I looked at what was in it And what it is D-limonene, basically orange oil. So I looked on Amazon just for D-limonene. Sure enough, I could find it all day long. Half the strength, but half the price too. So so I bought it, and the first day that I got it, I tried taking 2 of the pills because, you know, the orange burps was 1,000 milligrams. And I thought, well, I'll take 2 of them. They're 500. I'll take 2, and that'll equal the 1,000. Well, that was not a good thing to do. It was way too strong for my stomach, and it was literally painful. And I was like, that might not be the thing for me to take. But I decided to try it again and only take 1, and, you know, take it half the strength. Good morning, Kim. Welcome in. Well, taking 500 milligrams of it worked perfectly. And them calling it orange burps, they were not wrong, because you take the stuff and you will burp orange for hours, which, I mean, is not horrible. There's lots worse things you can burp. So yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm a monster without coffee, but I'm a much nicer person with it. So although this week I did actually go a couple of days without any coffee. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't feel like fixing coffee, so I didn't. But I don't generally like being without my coffee in the morning. Oh, a big hunk of this yarn came off the skein. Hate it when it does that. It's like yarn barf from the exterior of the skein. Your office chair broke. Oh no, that's not good. I'll tell you what, I got my desk and my office chair down the street. A girl was redoing her father, I guess, was redoing the interior of her house. And so she was yarn farts. Good morning, Chuck. That's a good name for it. Instead of yarn barf, it's yarn farts. So she had put these 2 pieces of office furniture out on the curb. So I walked down and I asked her, I said, are you getting rid of this? And she said, yeah. So the girl across the street from me helped me, and we just wheeled everything on down to my house, and I got it in the house. This desk is absolutely wonderful. It's a glass top desk. It's got like a, I don't know, almost a 1/4 inch thick plate of glass on the top, and it's adjustable, so you can tilt it different ways. So I guess it's kind of like a drafting desk or something. I love it. And what's really cool about it is when I'm doing diamond painting, I can take my clamp light. It's a little ring light with, I don't have quite enough cord. It's a ring light with the clamp. And I bought a bunch of these for my rack room because I can mount them on different things that I'm working on and have light up close to me. But I brought one up to use here in the studio area. And I can take this and turn it upside down so that it shines from the bottom underneath my desk upward. And I can put a diamond painting over top of it and use it as a light for doing the diamond paintings. And it works so cool. So how are you doing this morning, Chuck? Good to see you here. You are up early. I'm kind of getting itchy to do some diamond painting again, but I've got so many darn crochet whips going, it's really hard to tear myself away from them. I've got one whip almost accomplished. I am on the last row of the bottom of my Spider Dream tunic, and then I'm going to figure out some way to do some sleeves on it, and it will be done. So hopefully maybe tomorrow I will be able to wear it. Getting ready for work. Okay. I was wondering if maybe you had a day off. Do you ever get a day off? Doesn't seem like you get many. Yeah, Julianne, I'm getting pretty excited about getting it done. And I'm also very excited about the fact that this time it actually fits me the right way. I have tried making this thing 3 times before this with different weights of yarn, different hook sizes. I had gotten it actually pretty much done once before, but it was just so huge around the bottom. It was huge and really ruffly, and it just was too much. It was pretty. It was very pretty, but it was just too much to wear. So I frogged it, and yeah. Well, Amber, I'm sure you've got something in your stash that you could make one with. This is one colorway of Moonlight that I still have left. I love, love, love it. It's so colorful. You can't see real well, but right up in here, this stripe is goes to a really deep fuchsia and gold before it goes back out to the green and turquoise and then the blue. I love this. I had sent a couple of skeins of that to Lori, Lori's Stories and Crochet, and told her, please make something for yourself out of this, because she does a lot of blankets and shawls and other things that she gifts away, which I mean is wonderful. Everybody loves receiving gifts, right? But you know, once in a while we have to crochet something for ourselves. So I told her, find a pattern that you can crochet for yourself and use this for you. So yes, it is beautiful yarn. And as I've said a few times, it is a collector's item yarn because they no longer make it. So I had several colorways of it, and I held on to it for ages. with the intentions that, you know, someday I would probably use it. But yeah, didn't end up using it that fast, so I decided to gift some of it to different people. Good morning, Tina. Good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, Amber, the that happened with my blanket that I had started for the stitcher hood. I got through my first skein of it and measured how much, you know, how much height I had. And it was only like 10 inches. And I knew that that was not going to, maybe it wasn't even 10. I knew that that wasn't going to be enough to get me a 90-inch blanket, because we're supposed to try and make queen size blankets. So well, Amber, they will take pretty much anything. So if, I mean, if you don't want to stitch up a queen size blanket, you can do a throw size, you can do a shawl, a hug. You can do kitchen sets. They're very happy to get kitchen sets. So so yeah, the opportunities are definitely there for things that you can make. The kitchen sets they would be really happy to get, because they're going to be putting baskets together for people. They call them welcome baskets, and what they do is put kitchen and bath essentials into it. Nice. That will be neat, Amber. I like doing hats and scarves for our local charity. Normally, they have a hat and scarf drive. They start in September and run it until end of October. And then they take everything over to the charity, and then it can be passed out to people that need it. So I do like doing hats and scarves for them. Kim, go look on Camille's channel. She just did a live. She did a live on it. What the Stitcher Hood is a collab with Camille, Lori's Stories and Crochet, and Helix Stitchcraft. And we are making queen size blankets for people who are in a domestic violence shelter. And yes, as Tina said, they're going into transitional housing. So the shelter tries to set them up with the basic items that they will need to be able to transition into their own place. So They have requested queen size. If we want to crochet blankets, they've requested queen size blankets. Actually, you can do 80 by 90 is big enough. You don't have to go quite 100. If you, I mean, 80 by 90 is big enough. 90 by 90 is good, yeah. 84 by 90, anywhere, anywhere in that range is great. Just be prepared that it is definitely going to take more yarn than what you expect. Yeah, they pretty much will take anything. If you do smaller blankets, throw size blankets, they're more than happy to have those. So, if that's what you make and send, they will definitely pass them on to the shelter. Well, Camille is very excited because so far the list of people committing to making a queen size blanket is up to about 20 people. So that's pretty exciting. And then last night, a really cool thing happened on the live. Linda of Linda's Crochet had run short on the yarn she was using for her first blanket, and one of the channel members very graciously did a rather substantial super chat and gifted the money so that Camille could go on eBay and buy the rest of the yarn that Linda needs to finish her blanket and have it sent to her. So that was very, very wonderful. Everybody was about ready to cry. So yeah, we have such an awesome community. And then she told Camille that no, it was well, let me go ahead with the story. Linda is using the Caron, the Colorama Halo in magenta mandarin, which is one of their discontinued colors. So she was having a really hard time finding it for sale, for one thing, and then, at a price that wasn't totally exorbitant. And Camille managed to find some on eBay for a decent price. So yeah, she wanted to order it for Linda, but she's kind of on a limited budget right now too. So as we all are, you know, this time of the year. Um, yeah, so Charlotte was wonderful and gifted the funds to for Camille to be able to go ahead and order that yarn. And then Charlotte said, any of the yarn, any of the money that you have left over from that, go ahead and get the whitewater yarn that you need. So, yeah, it ended up being a kind of a double gift. So that was pretty cool. Hey, good morning, Renee. How are you doing? How late did you guys end up staying on Discord last night? Or should I say this morning? I probably could have stayed on a little longer because I did not end up going to sleep right away when I left the Discord. My brain just did not shut down. Well, you know, Renee, Camille has really funky sleep times. And this week apparently has been particularly bad for her. So she has not been getting to bed until early, early morning. She gets to bed about the time that a lot of us are getting up. So, yeah. She said I might see her here on the live today if she didn't go to sleep before then. I'm hoping that maybe she went ahead and got to sleep. Yeah, Tank, I totally know the squeaking by till payday thing. Yeah, I do too, Renee. I usually wake up two at the minimum times in the night, and a lot of times 3 or 4. One of the things that makes it hard for me is that I tend to do a lot of my hydration in the evening. So I need to learn to drink my water earlier in the day so I don't have to get up and run to the bathroom in the middle of the night so much. But I have a tendency that I drink a lot of water with supper and stuff like that. And yeah, then I pay for it. Yeah, that's a good idea. I actually have blackout curtains for my bedroom, which I have not yet put up. But my bedroom is fairly dark because it's my one window is on the north side of the house, so it really doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight. What I do get is reflected light from my neighbor's house. So when the sun comes up and hits the neighbor's house, then the light reflects into my bedroom from her house. Yeah, Lana. Well, what I tend to do is during the day, um, I drink a lot of coffee. And then when I stop drinking the coffee for the day, I start in on water. But usually by the time I start drinking water, you know, it's late afternoon or supper time. And then I'll drink water until I go to bed. And actually, try to keep a glass, or I've got a insulated cup that holds quite a bit that I keep beside my bed. So if I wake up and I'm thirsty in the middle of the night, I just reach out and grab that. Always have a cold drink of water. Well, yeah, I pay for that. Yes, Amber, totally. I would love to live out in the middle of BFE and not have any neighbors close to me. It would not hurt my feelings a bit. Although, I will have to say I'm lucky. Um, the neighbors either side of me are wonderful, um, very quiet, just nice people. Um, the neighbors on the corner right here next to me are a young couple. Um, they've got to be in their mid 20s to maybe early 30s. He might be in his early 30s. And then the lady here on the other side of me is a widow. When I first moved in, she and her husband were there, and he was not in the greatest of health. And unfortunately, he ended up passing away. I guess it's been a little over a year now since he passed. And that's nice, Amber. That's really nice. I think her house is probably, oh, I'd say there's maybe 20 to 30 feet between the houses on either side of me. 3 acres. Wow, that for being in the city, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, speaking of my neighbor that's a widow, I really need to get over and go see her. I have not been over to hang out and talk with her in a while. I should go over and check on her, see how she's doing these days. Last time I talked to her was before the holidays, and she was going to be going to her daughter's house for the holidays, but I haven't really talked to her since then. Yeah, she's pushing close to 90, and she is in awesome shape. Um, Needless to say, she has the little bits of age-related stuff, but her mind is sharp as a tack. She just recently had surgery on her eyes, so her eyes are in good shape. Yeah, so she still gets out and drives herself around, and wow, Tank, that would be a hard choice to make, because having all those acres would be nice, but having 1 acre in the Smoky Mountains would be awfully nice too. Ah, do the kids go back to the ravine and play? That's where I'd have been when I was a kid. Too much upkeep? Yeah, I totally get that. My little house just turned, well, actually turned 101 this year. So, yeah, yeah, Tank, I understand that. And I like my little house. My little house has some quirks, but I do like it. Well, you know, I will have to say, for being in a fairly, you know, tightly packed neighborhood, people here very much respect each other's privacy and space. You know, I don't constantly have neighbors knocking on my door wanting things. Or yeah, Amber, I thought when I bought this place that it might possibly be my forever home. And, you know, now that I'm getting to the age I'm retired, and, you know, now that I'm getting a little older, I don't really love the thought of moving again, but I really would like to move south. Now, here's the kicker to all of that. One of my reasons for wanting to move south was to try and be closer to my dad. However, I talked to my dad recently and kind of tried to find out what his plans for the future were. And he is possibly thinking about moving back up north. Hey, Marianne, you didn't sneak quiet enough. I heard that box of yarn move. um, so yeah, he's thinking about moving possibly back up to Michigan, which if I did not move, him moving back to Michigan would put him, you know, within a few hours of me. So that would not be so bad, you know, compared to what it is now. But if he were to stay down south, I would really like to move down south, back down south. I loved it when I lived in Tennessee, and I like South Carolina real well, so I would not mind moving back down that way to get out of the snow. I'm so sick of snow. I mean, when I lived in Tennessee, we got snow, but we didn't get, you know, a ton of it. And usually it only lasted maybe a day or two and it would be gone. And, you know, that's, to me, that's plenty. Not sure anything is forever anymore. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, a little bit of snow is nice. A lot bit of snow I can do without. And we've had a couple of pretty good storms already this winter. And now we've had our January thaw, so who knows what's going to hit us next. I know possibly tonight and tomorrow we're supposed to get a little bit of snow, but they're not calling for us to get more than an inch or two. So, good morning, Grammy Rita. Welcome in. Nice to see you. Oh, well, you guys, I hate to jump up when people are just coming into the room, but it has been an hour. 100% rain. Have you gotten any of the storms, Marianne? Thanks, Tank. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. So everybody, not in your area? Well, that's good. So everybody, I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me and chit-chatting. I always enjoy that on my Saturday mornings. I look forward to seeing everybody. So everybody go out and do what you love, be with the people you love, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will plan to see you right here, same time, same channel, tomorrow morning. Thanks again for hanging out, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.